Stability is something that I've always been looking for because your life can change in the blink of an eye. And, one day you can have it all and then you have nothing. I want better for my children. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. It can be somewhat not safe at times, which is why I decided it wasn't really a place to raise my kids. I felt stuck and defeated. The voice inside me just told me to do better. When I decided to come to Washington, it was either make it or don't. From there, I started working for the Centers of Autism and Related Disorder. I think it was about 20 hours a week, so still wasn't enough money. I was staying with a friend. Things weren't really good there. It was a lot of turmoil in her home, and I didn't want my children to be a part of that given what we had just come from. So I decided to stay in my car. Living in our car was cramped. It was sad. I went from having a roof over me and my kids' heads to now having nothing. To be able to shower when you want or cook a decent meal for your children. Heat, I couldn't run the car all the time because then I'd run out of gas. And then how would I get to work? There were nights that I cried while my kids were asleep, and even though I started my good job, it still wasn't enough to get me where I needed to be. You have to work towards an end goal to get an apartment, to get furniture, to get food, to get clothes, because your kids go through a growth spurt every 2 months. So instead of them in a size 2 shoes, now we're in a 4.5, which was literally what happened to me in Malachi. The things that make it hard to get ahead are just saving, but you can't save because you're in your situation.
After weeks of reaching out for dwindling available resources, Khali was finally able to get into the Stella Maris house.
I was preparing for another night in our car, and then Shelly calls me. As we're walking into Stella Maris, it didn't look like a homeless shelter. So we go through the gate and walk into this big blue house. That was the start of a new beginning. Stella Maris allowed me to be independent again.
The Bridge to Home Fund gave Khali the financial resources to start a new life.
I actually found a studio. I found the apartment. The Bridge to Home program paid my app fee, thankfully. They paid my first month's deposit and a double security deposit. Bridge to Home, what they do is they help put families back together. They pretty much gave me and my children our first home in 5 years. If it weren't for the Stella Maris and the Bridge to Home Fund, I honestly don't know where we'd be. It's our one shot to get a leg up in the world.
The Bridge to Home Fund and Stella Maris House inspired Khali to stay involved and help inspire others.
Being at Stella Maris, it helped me out tremendously, humbled me. So when I saw that they had a staff support position open, I applied. So I am an official employee of Stella Maris now. I think I help and I contribute because I've been on the other side. I understand more than anyone what the girls are going through, what their kids are going through. It actually feels like what I'm doing matters. The Stella Maris Bridge to Home Fund is a lifesaver. It's what helps us to get that step ahead. You guys are a lifeline. You really are.